Yo, welcome back. Episode number 9, book number 8, and this is where I share at least 2 things that impacted me from each book over my reading journey. So, today's book addresses a challenge that many of us face and we aren't necessarily vocal about. Now, we express certain things, but some people, they may not recognize it for what it is, and that is low self-esteem. Yes, low self-esteem. Now, coming from a person who wrestled with that challenge over the course of my entire life, I can relate to how low self-esteem feels and how it causes you to interact with the world. Now, for those who knew me, like really, really knew me, would know that I had this challenge. And for those who were just around me, they would say things like, Jamel, you real talented or you're handsome. Like, why does you even have low self-esteem? And that is usually the response we would get when we tell someone we have a self-esteem challenge. It'd be like, girl, you real beautiful, or you have so many things going for you, you're successful, you pass all the grades. But with regards to self-esteem, those things are just skin deep. There's something deeper within us that we can't put our finger on. And even if they say, have a good opinion about yourself, there's still something that we can't just do that because it's deeper than just my opinion. It's how we feel on the inside. It's a deep thing. And this book addresses that. The name of the book is The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem by Nathanial Branden. He is a psychotherapist and an author who studied and worked in the area of self-esteem. So his writings came with a lot. And he asserts that these 6 pillars are very important to have quality self-esteem. Now, in the book, he also gave some examples of what you can expect from somebody with low self-esteem versus somebody with quality or high or good self-esteem. And I saw myself in many of these areas. So one of the examples he said is that because a person of high self-esteem or good self-esteem believes that they are worthy of success and happiness and they can trust their ability to think, they would approach the world with more purposeful, driven approach. They would go after it and they would say, hey, I deserve that, I deserve to get it, and I will get it. Whereas the person of a lower self-esteem would go after it, but they would say that they are going after it with their best. But because of that feeling of not deserving happiness and success, and because of the inability to trust their mind, they would not approach it with that full effort that they need to. And this was true for me, because many of the things that I actually approached and many of the things that I tried and I failed at, it was because I didn't feel as if, I could actually do it or I really deserve to win. I just needed to try. I was trying to prove a point to myself, and sometimes the people around me, the phantoms around me or the voices around me, and I often failed. And it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I would approach something and start something and say, okay, I'm sure I'm going to fail, but I'm going to try it anyway to see if I could get through. And if I get through, I'd say, yeah, I get through. But on the inside, I would feel like, I definitely will fail. And this plagued so many things, from music to academics, to relationships, to everything. It plagued a lot of it. And these are the things that he spoke about in the book. Like, you can find so many different examples of how low self-esteem affects you and how a positive or a good self-esteem gives you that drive for life. Now, people have been able to set aside low self-esteem to live life, but I couldn't. And that's a very challenging thing to do. And if you have done it, kudos to you. But this has caused me to really open my eyes to see how to approach my self-esteem. And since then, I was able to pass exams. I was able to do a lot of things. Even these videos that, that I am putting out now, I didn't believe that I was worthy of anyone hearing me. But I believe in sharing my journey. And according to one of the books that I'm reading right now, The Speed of Trust by Stephen M.R. Covey, as you learn, share. So, yes. So one of the other things that he spoke about in the book is what he calls pseudo self-esteem. Pseudo self-esteem, or the illusion of self-esteem. That is where, as I said, many of us, we know how to act. So we don't want our feeling of inadequacy and feeling inadequate for life to be spilled out on anyone and for anyone to really know, because it's a very delicate and hurtful thing to even put out there. So we develop a way of going after things, chasing after things, and trying to attain things in order to, feel good about ourselves and to cover up that low self-esteem issue. And I have done that already. Now, one of the first instruments that I bought because, one, I loved it, but the second reason was to say, well, people are going to notice me and I'm going to feel good about myself. And I got the instrument and people noticed me for like 2 weeks. And after that, I was like, whatever, like, okay, Jamal, you have the instrument. And it's like, oh, this didn't work. I'm not feeling better about myself. Sometimes, as I said earlier, I would try to go and accomplish things to attain a certain level of recognition or a certain level of achievement to feel good about myself. And it still didn't work. If I failed, it compounded the effect. And if I did succeed, I was trying to, show it off and trying to, let people know, hey, I did this, and that good feeling will only last for a temporary amount of time. So I went back to the idea of knowing that I deserve happiness. And it's not for anyone else to see, to know, but it's for me to know it for myself. And this book really caused me to know these things. And I would encourage, if you have self-esteem challenges, definitely get this book, The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. You will not regret a single page, right? So this book, as I said before, it sparked some light bulbs in my head, and it gave me the ability to hold my self-esteem in my hand, in my mental hand, and to do something about it. And I would wish the same for everyone else that looks at these videos. Get this book, and if you can't, shoot me a message, shoot me a comment, and I will try to help you as much as possible. If this video touched you, leave a comment, leave a share, leave something with somebody. And this is the purpose for these videos. I really want to share my journey in the hope that somebody would gain something from it, somebody would learn something from it, somebody will go and get one of the books that I talk about, and it will impact your life in a way that things have not impacted your life before. So please, get it, and I will see you at the next point of this journey. Good vibes.